Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. Appreciate it. It's live, Jeff, with it Phenomicon day number 3. And we're having a fantastic time here. Met a bunch of people. We just had the media lunch with the Skinwalker-Ranch people, and I wanted to introduce Mr. Greg Lawson. Greg, here's some stuff for you. A little headphone. It's a short cord. Sorry, story of my life, but Mr. Greg Lawson, he's an author, and you guys have seen him before. He's been on the podcast. You can go back and check it out. How you doing today, sir? Whoop.
But I can't hear myself.
There we go.
There we are.
How's that? Can you hear yourself okay?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. So you got a new book out.
I do. Messages from Mothman released last week at Michigan Paracon.
Wow. Now, see, we're getting ready to, a friend of mine and I, we're going to go do some investigation out there at now, were you at the city? Point Pleasant? Is that the name of the town where?
So I did some investigation at Point Pleasant, but are you talking about
West Virginia?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the book. I mean, obviously you want people to buy it.
Hello. And the thing about it is, even if they got it free from a friend, I think it's worth reading and contemplating what I'm questioning. So
right.
It is I take the Mothman story and I stretch it from beginning to end of the book, but I reference a lot of other things in it, because when you look at the Mothman story from like my perspective, whenever I'm looking at a cold case, being law enforcement, I look at it in a very specific way and I take all the clutter out of it, right? Mm-hmm. And in a lot of these cases, there's a lot of information that's in there that it's probably not credible. It's probably not founded. It's not based in anything, and it's very loosely translated into some things. So when you're looking at those sorts of cases like Mothman, where you just have a few things, you got two couples in a car driving along, and this thing comes down and chases them. And then you got some people that see this creature in the trees. And then you have some people that see it on top of buildings. You have some people that see it around the Silver Bridge, a couple of other things. You got the Indrid Cold that is loosely tied to it. And it's only tied because people say it's tied. There's no real connection there at all. So when you look at legends like that, and people are kind of connecting it themselves or connecting it in their own way based on their own assumptions and expectations, it can get a little clouded, and it's very subjective, right? To their thing. So I take that storyline and I use a whole bunch of other things in there that are correlated and are it's kind of a template of how we interpret things. So everything from like the Oracle of Delphi to the Aberfan collapse of the coal mine to all kinds of other types of situations, and kind of help assess people and suggest to people that the things that happen to them, the dreams that they have, the experiences that they have, the little signs that pop up everywhere may be important, and quit diminishing your own experience.
Oh, right. Yeah.
When you see these types of things, you should recognize them, and it might be worth assigning meaning in your life of that. Because if there is a spirit realm, if there is some sort of others that are trying to communicate with us, and we dismiss them the way much of Christian religion would say dismiss it.
Yep, I know.
And we're raised that way to say no ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's, just believe in the word and that's it. I think that's a dismissive way to handle your human experience. So when you see these anomalous things, I think it's really important that you assign meaning to them.
Yep.
And it will help you work through other things, even if it's not spiritual, even if this is all Big Bang evolution, nothing more to it.
Yeah.
It will still add to your existence. It will add to your soul.
I agree, and I love the way you approach this, and it's the same way with, you had your Roswell the investigation, because in that book, you didn't look at it like everyone else does. Everyone else says, okay, let me investigate UFOs at Roswell. No, you investigated the cover up.
Right.
You investigated why is there a cover up and is it still going on?
Yes.
Did I get that exactly?
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
And I love that approach. So, and by looking at it in that way, you're looking at it going, okay, if there is nothing there to be covered up, why are you still withholding information?
That's right. Yeah.
And that's the perfect way to look at it. And I love your perspective on those types of things. And I'm assuming that's exactly what we're going to get with this new book. You're investigating the Mothman, looking at it in a different way, like you just explained.
Right. And
That's awesome.
it's I think most of what we get out of Mothman is very symbolic. It's and people try to assign meaning. Like I said, the bottom line, people say, well, was this an entity? Was it a extraterrestrial? And was it trying to tell us that the Silver Bridge was going to collapse? And so the problem is we often put this stuff together after the fact.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I encourage people as far as documenting what your experience is.
That's a very
whether
good
it's
insight.
just on your phone, because it's a pain in the butt to sit there and write notes and carry a spiral or a dream journal around with you or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so much better. Just use your but you could easily use your phone and write yourself an email, and you can just go into your email and then hit your mic and it will dictate whatever you tell it.
Right.
Or you can write it into your, like with iPhone, I have notes, checklists, stuff like that. And you can keep track of that a little easier than completely waking up and pulling out the journal and turning the light on. You write the stuff down. It's easier just to turn over there, go to your app and record it.
Absolutely.
But the point is recording it.
Get it.
So you can get that timestamp on it and then share your information with other people. But most of us are very reluctant to do that because we don't want to be ridiculed. We don't want to go, hey, don't do that because this bad thing's going to happen and everybody laugh at you. It doesn't happen. And you're like, you're the nutbag over there.
Right. Well, and that's something that, I, being a podcaster, I had to take that into consideration as well. I do get a lot of people that come on and say, oh, you're full of crap. Okay. That's your opinion. I'm full of crap. Whatever. It's not going to stop me from what I'm doing.
Right. I'm
going to continue on because I believe in what I'm talking about. I may not always be right. I've been known to be wrong. Well, maybe once or twice, but but that's the thing. You have to be able to, or be willing to put yourself out there and, and write the stuff down. And then, like you said, take it to the next level. I have a friend of mine and John Edwards. John Edwards is him and I have been talking about going out and doing the Mothman investigation of our own. But now I'm gonna have to read your book first.
I think you should.
Yeah. Is it available on Amazon right now?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, great. So do you have copies here with you?
I do. I have about probably 15 or 20 left.
Okay. And I can maybe get a signed copy?
Of course. I'll even rub my forehead on there and you can have some of my DNA. For my fats and oils. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, and again, the name of it again was
Messages from Mothman.
Messages from Mothman. Folks, I'm going to put the link for it, for the Amazon link. I'll put that down below. I haven't done it yet because honestly, Greg just walked by again a few minutes ago and I said, hey, can you go live with me? And he's like, yeah, I got a couple minutes. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
This is great. But like I said earlier, you have a long career of police work and investigation work, and you also are a trainer still, right? Is that still going on?
I am the director of training for our academy. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is in what state?
Texas.
See? And so obviously when it comes to that work, that gives you a special talent, I think, in doing what you're doing with this other investigation work. And like you just said, it's also, you talked about the ridicule.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that has to be something in law enforcement. Have you found that to be a little worse in other places?
You think?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
It's like, you're supposed to be a credible witness and you chase ghosts. Oh, okay. The thing about it is what a lot of people don't understand is if you can draw a line in the sand, I know the difference between fiction and reality. Yeah. So are you going to tell me I can't read a fiction book because I am a cop and I have to stay in reality? What I bring to the whole situation is a way to look at investigation that will cut down on the clutter. You look at some of the books out there that have been written, and they hundreds and hundreds of interviews, witnesses, and they include all that stuff, and none of it matters.
Right.
Part of being an investigator is exculpating, removing people from the investigation, from the responsibility of the investigation, and the individuals that truly don't have anything to do with it. Why put it in your investigation?
Right.
So it's one of those things. If I'm going to resurrect a cold case, I'm going to boil it down to what matters, and then I'm going to present the facts to the jury or to the grand jury to try to get an indictment, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way I approach the paranormal side of it.
That's fantastic. We talked about, I mean, there's that fine line when we talk about the paranormal. And the guys from Expedition Bigfoot, they just had their panel in there just a few minutes ago, and they were talking about the fact that, is it possible that, and I don't know if have you done anything with Bigfoot? Have you done any investigations on that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Have you written a book on that too?
I have not, but I was thinking about it. I went to Portlock in 1984.
Portlock. I'm not familiar with that.
So it's Port Chatham. It's there was a cannery town there. Okay. It's up in Alaska. There's a cannery town there. And in the 1970s, the Anchorage newspaper put out the fact that this cannery town just packed up and moved in 1949 because of the killings that happened there. And there was attributed to the Tornets or the Hairy Men or Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Wow. Right.
And they actually just had
I have heard that.
Yeah, they had a TV show. I'm not sure if it was on Travel or what it was on, but the TV show was called, I think it's called Killer Bigfoot. And they brought in some family members, some that of people that lived in Portlock at that time, but these were descendants of them. They don't know anything about it, but brought them back there to just kind of look at the area.
Yep.
But yeah, I was there in 1984. And I've done stuff in the Cascades and in the Olympic chain and all that stuff. Right. So yeah.
Wow. Fantastic.
And I look at Bigfoot very, very differently. I look at it from a wanted fugitive perspective as opposed to a hairy guy running around out there.
That's very interesting. Look, that's what I love about you, Greg. I really do. Is that when you take Roswell or any Mothman or any of these, and you do that very thing, you look at it from a completely different perspective.
Well, it's very obvious that this is not an animal that is just stumbling around out there doing that. He is paying attention to where humans are, and he's making sure he's where they're not.
Correct. So. Correct. Yeah, that's wild. So what's on the horizon for you? What's next?
I'm currently writing a book. It should be ready. I'm hoping in March or April of next year. I'm not going to give away the title, but it's a perspective of what evil is and how it
in humans or in general.
In general, kind of what is evil? Is it a behavior? Is it an entity? Is it a cultural thing? Is it a religious thing? And trust me, that sounds really boring, but it's going to be better.
Oh, not to me, it doesn't.
No, it's from a particular perspective that I would love to share that part of it right now with you, but I don't have it completed.
No problem.
Yeah. But it's a very unique perspective, like Messages with Mothman. And I think it provides a good, something I learned a long time ago. People would come up to me and ask me questions. And I was always like, I'd really love to know the answers to these. Well, as you get older and you get more experience, you have those answers and you realize you don't want to share those answers with people. You want to get them to think about them themselves and
come up with their own conclusion.
Yeah. So the master doesn't provide the answers, he poses the better questions.
And I think that's the best way to do it, because now you're training someone to use their mind to work through the solution themselves, like a math problem.
Yeah. And so that's
really
kind
cool.
of the perspective I come at it is what I'm writing in these books are a stimulation of thought, of what if, and I don't go off on the crazy, what if there's fairies? What if there's this? No, I isolate specific things that happen, specific behaviors, specific outcomes, and then discuss what are the complications to this, and what are the, what contributed to this event, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
wow, fantastic. I can't wait. You got to let me know when this is ready.
all right, man.
I'd love to have you back on. I know I just grabbed you when you were walking
That's
by,
cool.
but I'd love to do a regular podcast with you and have you come on, talk about it.
You got my phone number.
Yeah, I do. So, and then when the next, you said March, April timeframe?
That's what I'm hoping. And if I say March, that means May. I don't know.
Is your wife still helping keeping you grounded?
Yeah, look at that.
She's keeping an eye on you. I know, right? I know. I got a chance to talk to her last year when we were here, and yeah, she you got a good one there. You got gold.
Yeah,
so.
it's called a behavior modification unit.
I have one right here. Her name is Christina.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. All right. Well, thank you so much, Greg. I really
pleasure,
appreciate it.
My
I'm going to have Robert come over, but
cool.
I got your number. I'll be in touch, sir.
Right, man.
Thanks very much. You're welcome. All right, Greg Lawson, everybody. And I will get that link. That was Messages of Mothman. You got to check this out because his books are okay. I was getting ready to use the term phenomenal. I'm going to use it anyway. Phenomenal. They really are. And his perspective, like I said, about how he approaches his investigation is completely different from what you would expect when you talk Mothman or whatever else. You got Mothman, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to research Mothman and find out about him. But no, he looks at it differently and approaches it differently. Mr. Robert Davies, how you doing, sir?
Excellent. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, man, it's fantastic. So what do you think about Phenomicon so far this year?
Well, for my first time out here, it's been pretty amazing. Getting to meet a lot of cool people, a lot of people I've known for a year for the first time. So,
like me. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Loved having you on the podcast. You did a great job. And of course I say this because I'm buttering you up to come on again. I hope you will.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Just
man.
say the word anytime.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that because you have a unique perspective. And again, I was going to go talk about your brain size. I mean, how he keeps all this knowledge inside that head and then inside this hat, I have no idea, because you've created and helped out the, at least as far as I know, the Insider program so much. Are you still heavily involved in all of that?
Oh yeah. I do whatever I can. So as new stuff comes out about where things are along the property, I try to keep an updated map so that way people know where the cameras are, where the different pens are. I've even incorporated.
That's my problem.
Yeah,
I get disoriented when I'm thinking about where stuff belongs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then of course you have all the historical stuff from the Chris Bartell days and things like that. So I've even gone to their maps and incorporated those site locations on the mine. So that way you can see where the skins were hanging out on the western side of the ranch.
Yes.
Or where a few of the cows have been found in really weird locations, even out towards the East Valley.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wolf traps that were found up along the mesa, things like that.
Yeah, Chris talked about those.
Yeah. And as he's talked about those in different interviews, I've made sure to mark them down.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, I see you pop in and out, but I'm assuming you're a pretty busy guy. I don't see you on the live chat as much as you used to.
Just tag my name, I'm there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I just lurk.
Okay, I do too. I really do. I matter of fact, I'm lurking right now. I've actually got it, and there it is. There, I've got the feed.
Yep.
So yeah, I do that. I bring it up, and then I say hi to a few people, and then I get busy off doing something else, and the next thing you know, people are talking to me, and I go back and I scroll and go, oh, sorry about that, and they're already gone. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. But yeah, I guess that's the part of being a lurker. But so what besides Skinwalker-Ranch, obviously you and I both have a very strong interest in that. What else? Are you Bigfoot or UFO? I mean, obviously UFO.
No, but I would love a chance to sit and talk with you about the Cremona documents.
Ooh.
See, there's
a whole new realm that we could get involved in.
Oh, for sure. And apparently, where I grew up in upstate New York, Hunter Mountain, there's a connection with the Cremona documents and a site located in the Catskill Mountains of New York. And I've wanted to dig into it deeper for many years now and just haven't had the opportunity.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm already thinking, my brain is already running about different people that I could have you talk with. So, I mean, have you been researching the Cremona documents that much? Or, I mean, is this something new or?
No, I came across a website that was talking about the the validity of them and potentially that they were forged in an effort of a sting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that say they're crap, you know.
Yep, but that there was some sort of link to my near my hometown in the Catskills, and it's called Devil's Rock. It's been a huge landmark for years. Makes me curious, like what else could be tied to it, you know?
Yeah, because that's wow, okay, that's going to be great because that's a whole new area that I can get involved with you on that, because I'm not, and again, I, as everyone knows, and I make this very clear on here, I use this podcast as my research platform. I bring on people that have knowledge that help teach me and then the viewers about something like that. So, and that's exactly it. John Edwards is a guy who talks about that. Court Lindahl talks about that quite a bit. Yeah, I was just thinking of a few more people. We're going to have to do that.
Oh, for sure.
That's great. What other interests do you have like that?
I think as far as like the common media, that's my extent. But
paranormal, you into the paranormal at all? Or?
Not so much, but my mom is a member of the TAPS organization back on the East Coast.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I have investigated with those guys before. Steve and Tango. I got to investigate with both Steve and Tango. Cool. Yeah, that was so cool because I loved watching. Of all the ghost investigation type shows, that's the one that I really connected with those guys, because I thought they were very credible. They were doing it the right way. They were approaching it the right way, and they weren't going to fake anything.
Right.
That's cool. Is it possible you could let me talk to her someday? Or
Sure. She's actually an insider.
Is she really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You can find her on Discord and even in the YouTube channel at times.
Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do that. Oh my gosh. So what's up? Which? Yeah, that was weird.
That was me.
What you got going on? The rest are you going to be here tomorrow as well?
Yes. So,
okay.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Is it?
Yes.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yes, this is actually, I wasn't intending to come to Phenomicon, but my wife decided that it might be a good birthday present for me.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, that's nice, huh?
I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's a great idea. Last minute vacation.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my gosh. Well, happy birthday. I tell you, that's really cool. And we've got our insider thing going on tomorrow. The special, I guess I don't know where it's going to be, probably upstairs in the UCC. Room with all the guys from Skinwalker-Ranch like we had last year, but they broke it up into two.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm just telling you who's on.
Oh, okay. What time is it? Is it 3 o'clock already?
minutes,
Oh, we got a little time. Yeah. Okay. So I know we're going to have that, and they broke it up into two sessions because there's so many insiders now. It was funny. I was just over talking to Dave at the Skinwalker-Ranch member support, and I said, how many insiders do we have now? And he goes, can't tell you. And I'm like, really? So yeah, I know we have a lot, and there's so many of them here. Yeah. That's so cool. And you're going to be here for that. Do you know which one you're doing? The first one?
They haven't told me which one yet, but I will be at the rocket launch tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that too.
Nice.
Awesome. Rocket. It's funny because we were in I'm talking with the media upstairs. There's the media talking to the Skinwalker-Ranch cast upstairs at lunch today. Oh, and we were talking about the rocket launch. And Travis said the thing that I always say: who doesn't love to launch rockets? I mean, come on.
Just brings out the inner teenager in somebody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we got some things coming up here at 3 o'clock, some people to talk to, but hey, thank you so much for coming by.
Anytime.
I'm going to, I got to get you back on the podcast because I love your insights.
Awesome. Just let me know when. I'll make time for you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, folks. I tell you what, we're getting ready to. I was looking at the schedule here for Friday, 3 o'clock. We got James Keenan, and this is one of those things where they put all these people. They have so many speakers. They're all ended up being around the same time. We got James Keenan, Michael Ricksecker, Ronnie LeBlanc, and Eric Bard, all at 3 o'clock. Now, tell me, how many of you don't want to watch all these guys? So how do you do that? How do you fit that in? I guess what you do is you buy the CD, okay, from Phenomicon when it's all over with. I guess that's what you have to do, right? So that you can, hear what they had to say. This morning, I was out. We did it was called the behind the scenes tech, and it was with our good friend Pete Kelsey and Eric Bard, and they were out there. They flew a drone. They took us through all the tech I should say all the tech, a lot of the tech that Pete uses with Eric, the drones, the LiDAR, the photogrammetry, the multispectral cameras, the drones, all that stuff. We went through all that out there this morning. I took a couple pictures. Unfortunately, I couldn't record it, although I did record the media event that we had upstairs. I did record that today. I got it on the GoPro. I will get that downloaded as soon as I can and put that out on my YouTube channel here so that you guys can check that out. Unfortunately, it's not as good as it was last year, where I'm sitting across the table from the guys, and I was able to put my camera down and film all of them. We were at a conference table, a long, skinny conference table, and I put the camera at the end, and it's looking down across. And of course, Travis, Dragon, and Kaleb were sitting at the far end of the table, but I hope you can hear them pretty well. I have not had a chance to listen to it yet, but I will be putting that out onto the YouTube channel as soon as I get a chance to get it downloaded and edit it a little bit, take out some of the, like the parts of me talking, get that out there. We somehow or another, we got onto a discussion of Bigfoot. I'm not really sure how that got going. And then I looked over at Bridget, and Bridget she's running the show here at Phenomicon, and she was sitting next to me. And I looked over at Bridget, and they were talking Bigfoot down at the other end of the table. And I said, how much time do we have left? She goes, 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I jumped in and I directed the conversation back to Skinwalker-Ranch with a question because I had to. So I know, Sid. See, that's exactly what I say. Where's the bones? Where's the body? That's me. I'm that guy on the fence. But I tell you, Sid, and this is what I commented back to you in the comment section of when you brought that up before. There's too many credible people that have had experiences that you just can't throw all of it out the window. If even one of those people are correct in what they saw, there's something behind it. And I'm going to let you listen to Travis Taylor's explanation of what he thinks the Bigfoot phenomena is about. Interesting insight. You need to catch this one. So, Sid, I ask you to check that out as soon as I get it done and I get it loaded up onto YouTube channel. Please come and check it out, and then give me your comments. Let me know what you think. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to, last night I did do the ghost investigation last night with Cypress Paranormal Research team. I did not go live because I got delayed getting there. And by the time it was started, it would have been like 12 o'clock midnight for you all. So I did not go live. I will talk about it a little bit, but I didn't record anything. We did get some pretty wild EVPs, and I think we're going to have the guys are going to Cypress Paranormal is going to put something together. Ronnie just walked by. Hey, you want to sit down for a minute and say hi? All right. Let me get you set up there. Look who just popped by. It is Marie Dumont from Mid-Florida Research, Bigfoot Research. How you doing? Here's your mic.
Fine. How
So
are you?
what are you thinking of all this?
Oh, it's always a great time. I
It is, isn't it?
absolutely love it. Yeah.
You and I got the chance to do you came by, I guess. Dr. Maria Mayer called you or got a hold of you and said, hey, we're doing a Bigfoot watch party over here at the bar.
Yes.
And you came in. I saw you come in. What'd you think of that?
Oh, such a good time. I was hoping that because she wasn't sure yet where they're going to watch it at.
Right.
So once they found out that that restaurant had the Discovery Channel,
yeah,
then she texted me and said, hey, we're going to be here. Come on out. Let's watch the party together.
Was that not cool?
Awesome. Oh,
and it was so cool to look up on the screen, and here they are talking about the thing with Zach.
Oh,
and Russ's new or cameraman.
Ryan. Cameraman Ryan.
Oh my gosh! And we and then I look over and I'm looking back because they're sitting over here behind us, and I looked over to see the reactions, and I'm like, wow. Yeah.
I know.
And Zach is like, well, he's not Zach. And I'm like, there you go. That answers the whole thing right
I know. Because I wasn't aware that they had a different cameraman until I saw the episode and, Russ's complaining about Ryan, cameraman Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, who's Ryan?
Yeah, who the heck is Ryan?
Yeah, yeah. So that, I mean, what a opportunity
It
to
was.
actually watch an episode with them,
With the cast.
with the cast. That was just a unbelievable opportunity.
And then how many holy beeps? And then
I
we're
know.
turning around, we're looking over at Russ because it was him doing the holy
Yeah,
beeps, you know.
Yeah, it was such a good time.
It really was. It was fantastic. So what do you think? Everything pretty wild, or you were here last year?
Oh yes, yes.
Russ hasn't done his presentation yet, has he?
No.
So
This is usually the last day.
are you going to carry the pack around again?
No, you said you were going to.
Me? No. We got to get Jim to do it.
Oh my God. If I can do it, you can do it, okay?
That thing weighs like 98 pounds.
92 pounds.
It
to
weighs
be
more than you
exact.
do.
No, almost. About killed me. I was sore for like over a week. I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to walk again. So it was just, and lots of Advil. And,
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I could do
You
it.
can do it.
I could do it, but it would kill me.
can do it.
would
The key is to walk with your legs more spread
straight
and
up
bend
and down.
over.
Yeah, don't
You have to bend
Oh, do
over a
you?
little bit.
yeah,
Yes.
to put even the weight out.
Correct.
I guess. Okay.
Otherwise,
all
if you're standing
right.
upright,
I'm gonna fall over back.
I was afraid I was going to trip on the rug. That's what the problem was. And if I slightly tripped with that much weight on your back, you're going down.
Can you imagine
You know?
this man, Russell Acord, running around in the woods with that pack on his back? I can't. I mean, he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. I don't know how anybody can do that.
I don't
I don't care how big they are.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And
He-
he's traveling miles.
Yeah.
Miles. Up terrain, climbing rocks, climbing down.
Mhm.
I couldn't
Yeah.
never do that.
So what's
Never.
new at in Florida with Mid Florida Research?
Oh, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen you out. You were out with David.
David Shealy,
Yeah.
skunk expert. Yeah, he's an honorary member of our team. So
Right.
we go down to the Everglades in the wintertime.
Mhm. Yeah.
And do research
Not
with
in the summer.
him in the Everglades for the skunk ape.
Right.
And then sometimes he'll come up to my area in Tampa and we'll
Go out
go
with you
out,
guys.
which
Now-
we did last weekend.
I saw the pictures on Facebook. Did you put any kind of a video together for that or anything like that?
I did a little video about it. Basically him talking about the area
Okay.
because that's the first time he's been there. He's heard us talk about it,
Right.
and you've been there.
Yes, I know. And
Yeah.
thank you for that, by
Yes,
the way. You're the
yes.
only team that I've been out with so far.
Yes, you're
and
welcome.
I learned a lot. And that's why I did it, folks, is because I wanted to go out with a team that knows what they're doing. You and your team do know what you and Mike and
Chris and
Chris.
Ruby.
Yes. Well, Ruby wasn't there when I was there. It was
Ruby's
just-
here.
Is she really?
Yeah.
You have to introduce
I
her.
will. I
All right.
will.
Cool.
But we've had some new finds. New stuff has
Really?
popped up since when you went out.
Did you? Oh, I saw the gifting, and there was looked like a bunch of little eggs on the ground. What was that?
Well, what we did
In
was
the gifting area.
yeah, the gifting area. I had rocks.
Oh, were they rocks?
I put rocks in a circle because
Uh-huh.
I want to see if something's going to come along and stack them
Oh, good idea.
or play with them or
Right, right.
something. That's why I
Manipulate them in some way. Yeah.
So I put in a circle so I can tell,
Mhm.
right? And then Mike put out Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes, like he does.
Like
Yes,
he does. He put them out the night before.
Oh, did
So
he? Yeah.
Friday
Okay.
night, because we're going out Saturday.
Okay.
He put out the peanut butter cups.
Uh-huh.
He put out lima beans
Lima bean.
because that's what David Shealy does in the Everglades.
Ah,
He has a lot of luck with dry
wow.
lima beans for
Okay.
skunk apes.
Yeah.
So Mike just put them out. And so we went out Saturday. There's a little tiny X structure,
I saw that in
in-
your picture. You have a
in
picture of that.
the gifting spot,
Yeah.
the exact spot. The Reese's cups were opened and
Mhm.
eaten, and this little tiny,
They leave the wrappers behind.
they leave the wrappers behind, and sometimes they hide them.
Yeah.
And but it's about 12 inches right in the middle.
Yeah, I saw the picture you had on your.
They didn't
Yeah.
notice it. I noticed it, and I'm like, guys,
It was
Look.
obvious in your picture.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah. And
Any new prints lately?
we saw some impressions,
Uh-huh.
but nothing with toes.
Okay.
They had rained
Okay.
previously, so the ground was compacted.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So we could see impressions, but we couldn't see anything with toes.
Okay.
And what else was new? Oh, a huge tree branch fell within 50 feet of us. Huge, like 12
Fell or was tossed?
fell,
Okay.
broke, fell, but we don't know if there was something on it that made it fall because that was like a 12-inch in diameter tree
Really? That
limb.
big?
Yeah, within 50 feet of us. It was close,
Wow.
extremely close. We found a hog out there. David Shealy spotted it in the ferns. We were walking down this little tiny trail with ferns. He said, I think there's a hog over here, a wild hog. So we kind of backtracked and looked, and I saw it was like laying down. That blackish grayish look with hair, and stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. But we didn't smell anything. We thought it was dead. Mike goes over there to check it out.
Which might be dangerous.
Yeah. And it kind of like
tensed up.
Yeah. It kind of like raised its head up and was like, get ready to charge, but it could not stand up.
Why?
We think it had broken legs.
Now that's odd.
He was disabled in some way.
Wow.
So, and there's Bigfoot reports of researchers and stuff, they'll find these animals like bears or deer with broken legs.
Right.
Because then
they're easier prey.
Then they can't run away.
Right. Exactly.
Then they can go off and do other things, maybe find others, and they can come back
to it
and take the animal.
Wow.
So I wanted to get close to it because I wanted to see if there were broken legs. But I'm like, nope, that's really dumb. I better not do this as much.
Kind of like stepping on the rattlesnake.
Just like the rattlesnake, but I almost worse. And I was like, no, I really wanted to look so bad to see if it had broken legs.
Wow.
Or not, because that would be even more compelling.
Yeah. You'll have to go now. How long ago was that? And did you go back to check that spot to see if it was
last weekend?
Oh, so you haven't had a chance to go
No,
back.
but I'm going to tell Mike and Chris.
They need to go back and check
to go back and see if the animal is there,
or
see if it's dead now.
Bones left
or
behind.
bones.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a follow-up has to be done there on that. Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know if you know, too, that I had trail cams out there.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And
there was one you couldn't get into. You couldn't get it open or unlocked.
Yeah, correct. Because it was, rusted, locked. And so what happened was I went out there to try to pull the cards out. And, there's two things. Number one, the first thing was about a month ago when I was out there pulling the cards out. There were two sheriffs out there.
Really?
With a canine dog.
Why?
Coming out of our area.
Right. Why, I wonder.
Why? Don't know. People would think, oh, there must be a missing person or there's somebody growing drugs out there. You saw the area, Jeff. That's not.
You're not going to grow drugs out
No,
there.
you're not going to be missing where we're going, and
Right.
you're not going to find like drugs out there. But the sheriff did not see. He was standing in front of my trail cam, and you could see him like looking over his shoulder. He was like super paranoid. And then the other sheriff officer walked by with the canine. So my thought is, I would not be surprised if the neighbors, those houses right there, maybe they heard something howling, screaming, coming from that area. They probably called the sheriff, say, hey, I hear something out there. And they went to investigate.
Did you get okay. I missed the very first part of this, or I didn't quite catch it. Did you go out there and see the sheriff there?
No.
Or it was
on
your
the trail
web?
cam.
Okay, on the trail cam. Okay.
On the trail cam.
I was going to say, man, if you could get an opportunity to talk to them and find out why they were there.
Well, they're not going to, but they're not going to tell you
what
they're there
not.
for.
Probably
Oh, yeah,
not.
Neighbors are complaining about
people running around out here looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh crap, the gig is up. They know where we're at. I don't know. I don't know why they were out
The
there.
investigative part of me says you need to talk to these residents around there to see what they've seen.
I know. I would love to talk to the neighbors just to see.
knock on
have you heard
doors.
anything really weird out here?
How do you approach somebody for something like that?
But
I don't know.
A couple of weeks ago we went out there of course, with my trail cam, I'm
Mhm.
trying to open it up and stuff and get my cards out. Both have been zapped,
What?
like factory reset. They did not work at all. They both said no firmware exists on both trail cams.
That's
Now, okay, one would be a
one maybe,
coincidence.
but
One maybe, but both, and they're like, oh, well over 100 yards apart from each other,
right.
and they're both zapped.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't
Just
know.
think of the footage that may have been on them.
Well, but I was able to get to the footage.
Oh.
I was able to get the cards. So even though I got that error,
Mhm.
it reset my dates and everything. There was stuff on the cards,
Anything real
but
good?
nothing. No,
Oh, wow.
nothing.
Well, at least you know they still work anyway.
Yeah,
maybe.
well,
Hopefully.
I don't know if it still works.
True.
So
Wow.
anyway, very exciting though.
Wow.
So we constantly have activity, new things
Yeah.
in the area. So it's
That's
really
great.
cool.
All right. Well, let me know what you find on.
Yeah,
I want to
of
know about the
course.
hog situation. What you find out
Yes.
about that.
Hopefully I'll find something.
I know
new
we keep in
about
touch, so
that.
let me know.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah. Because I'm dying to know myself. I want to know if that animal's still there
Yeah.
and if it had broken legs.
Yep.
That's the big thing.
That'd be interesting if you
Mhm.
find bones and you find broken leg bones.
Yes. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it would be.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thanks. It's
It's
always good to see
Yes,
you.
absolutely. I'm going to be watching to see if you carry the pack.
I'm expecting you, Jeff. I'm expecting good things out of you now. Come on,
well, I
you
don't
can
know.
do this.
That pack looks
Like I
awfully
said,
bad.
bend forward and walk with your legs.
You know
more
what, Russell?
separated.
Hey,
That's the
Russell,
key.
he'll look at me and he go, "No, Jeff, you're too old. You can't carry this."
Well, he
got a feeling
denied
would do
me
that.
in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
He's like, sit down. You
You
can't
kept
do
after
this.
him, and they let
I'm
you
like,
do it.
yes, I can. Yes, I can do
You
that.
proved him wrong.
And then I was like, oh, shoot. He wants me up there now. And I'm like, ah. But I'm so glad I did it.
Yeah.
It was such a wonderful opportunity.
Yep.
Thank God I didn't fall.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was great.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
so
thank you
great.
so much.
Well, thank you.
Enjoy yourself and
Yeah.
stop by again when you can.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you. All right, folks. I got to get out of here. It's 3:07, and we got other things going on. So I'm going to sign off and go and then enjoy some more Phenomicon. So I'm going to go live again as soon as I can. We'll be here tomorrow. Me and Jim were going to go out and hit up the taco truck, but when we finally went out there, it was closed for the day. So we're going to try again tomorrow. All right. And we got to get that taco truck. All right. Thanks, folks, for being here. Appreciate everybody that logged in to say hi and check it out. And we'll catch you next time here on the JFree906 podcast. See ya.